Hello there everybody, it is me XFreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're building this atomic ranch. This house was actually inspired by all of the mid-century modern furniture that we got with Get Famous. This house also uses a lot of terrain tools, so I'm so excited to show them off to you guys in this build. But yeah, today we're building this retro style family home that's kind of got 3 bedrooms and 1.5 bathrooms, more than that in just a little bit. But this house also features an open concept floor plan as well as a garage and a walkout basement. But one really interesting feature that this house has is actually an underground bunker, which is something that one of you guys suggested, actually a couple of you guys suggested in some previous mid-century modern style builds I did before. By the way, if you guys are interested in seeing those, I actually have a whole playlist of all mid-century modern builds that I did. You guys can find it on the playlist tab on my channel. This build will also be in that playlist as well, by the way. But I think my favorite part of this house would have to be the backyard, because this house also has a treehouse. I know, I'm surprised I only built a house with a treehouse in The Sims 4 now. Like, you don't really see that many houses with a treehouse, but I feel like it's completely realistic to have one. Like, I know growing up, I've always wanted to have a treehouse. I literally begged my parents and my dad to build me one, but the closest we got was actually my dad putting like a ladder on a mango tree that we had in our backyard, and literally that was the treehouse. Fun fact, I used to climb trees as a kid. But anyway, back to this build. The shape of the house was actually inspired by some retro vintage floor plans that I've seen. So yeah, I think the house that I based this off of was actually a 1-story house that had kind of like a sunken walkout basement or something like that. Unfortunately, we can't do that in The Sims 4, so I had to kind of improvise a little bit with the terrain tools. That being said, I'm really happy with how this came out. Even though the house is technically 2 stories tall, it still looks like a 1-story ranch style house. So I'm really happy about that. You guys can also see me kind of incorporate some subtle like mid-century modern style decorative elements, such as this little screen right next to the front door, which I really like the effect. It's not like so, you know, in your face, this is mid-century. It's very subtle, which I think is what gives this house more of a realistic vibe. A really fun little technique as well that I did in this build is use these window blinds as shutters. I thought that looked really cool. And yeah, we are just pretty much incorporating in some planter boxes over here as well on the outside. Just to kind of like add a little bit more detail to the exterior of the house. But overall, it's actually a very simple design as far as the exterior goes. Like, that being said, I do feel like it's quite realistic. So yeah, I'm really excited actually for you guys to see this and to tell me how you guys feel about it, because I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like this is probably like one of my favorite family homes I've ever built. I think this house just has such personality, and I'm so happy with how it turned out in the end, especially as I was building the treehouse bit. That was just like, yeah, that just really made me so happy. Anyway, I'm so busy now because I am preparing for the Christmas holidays, and part of that preparation is actually pre-recording some videos in advance. So you guys, I do have some Christmas specials in the works, so please keep your eye out on that. As always, I will always keep you guys updated on my social media, so please feel free to follow me on Twitter, or you guys can just, you know, subscribe to the channel and I will post something on the community tab, and hopefully it will get to you guys as well. So the only thing I wish I could have done a little bit better with this house is actually to have a bigger bathroom. Yeah, this house only has one full bathroom and it's tiny. Though in the basement area there is an extra half bathroom and a sleeping area, but I didn't consider it as kind of like a bathroom and, you know, a bedroom because it is a bunker, so, you know, it's only going to be used really in emergency situations. So yeah, the bedrooms in this house though, all of them have a walk-in closet, so, you know, that's that at least. If you guys really need an extra bathroom, you can delete the little closet area just in front of the front door and maybe make it into kind of like an actual bathroom as well. But yeah, this right here is the basement slash bunker area, which actually uses those vaults that came with Get Famous, and I really like the idea of using that vault because it feels so secure. But right now it looks like we are finally getting to work on the interior, and I will admit it was kind of a struggle to get that mid-century modern look, but in the end, you know, I looked at some reference images on Google is our best friend, and I think I was able to capture that look and vibe of the mid-century modern era. So yeah, I do imagine this house to be a little bit more, I would say maybe 60s or 70s, because I feel like the colors are just so 60s. It has a lot of like this rich, you know, like browns and oranges and greens, which I feel like is the color of the 60s and 70s, if I do say so myself. There's also a lot of linoleum on the interior as well as some wood panelings. Actually, I'm using the wood panelings that came with pets on the interior, which is quite surprising because I didn't expect those wood panelings to look so good as interior wall panels, but they look so good and I feel like I use them in every room. So I was really happy that I discovered that because I don't see that much often. So yeah, anyway, I really love this bar area that comes off of the kitchen area into kind of like the main living slash dining room area. So that made me really happy. Ranch style homes are known for being single story homes with open concept floor plans, so I definitely tried to keep that in mind as I was building this because I did want to incorporate some aspect of realism. You guys know me, I do want my builds to be as realistic as possible if I can do something about it, unless I do something that is intentionally like cartoony or like a themed or creative build. I typically go for more realistic builds in most of the homes that I build. So yeah, you guys just saw me furnish the kitchen. It was a really quick furnishing because there's really not much to do. I have seen a lot of mid-century modern kitchens are actually quite small. So yeah, despite the fact that this house is actually quite small, it still took me like 6 hours in total to build this, which is actually kind of crazy because I don't know why, but I feel like terrain tools just makes building so much more comprehensive and it just makes the whole building process take so much more longer. Anyway, back on the interior, you guys just saw me build that little deck area, which I was really happy with. I felt like that is something that a lot of, you know, normal family homes have. I've also seen a lot of, like most of the dining rooms I've seen from the Atomic Age or from the mid-century modern period had 4-seater dining tables, which is quite interesting. So that's what I was trying to capture there. I will say that I really love the mid-century modern furniture that came with Get Famous. However, I feel like if you put all of them together, they can kind of look a little bit caricaturish because every piece of furniture is so overly designed that if you put them all together, they kind of look a little bit cartoony. So what I did is I actually mixed and matched a lot of the items from different expansion packs. Like, for example, I really wanted to use that one stereo that came with Get Famous, but I felt like it was just so much. So I ended up using just a normal jukebox that I'm assuming came with base game. So yeah, there's a lot of mixture of base game and Get Famous in this one because I just really like the mix of both of those. And yeah, I really enjoy doing this build. It was so much fun to do, and I really love being able to showcase all of the mid-century modern furniture for you guys because you know, I am now a game changer in case you guys haven't known yet. So I feel like it's my duty, it's my responsibility to do that. No, they really didn't say anything that we have to do, but I feel like I have to do my part, you know, and showcase the items in the best possible way I can do so. You know, it's not just a house that has mid-century modern furniture, it is a combination of design and research and, you know, good items and furnitures and just making the right choices, because yeah, I feel like just taking the time to make the right choices really makes a difference. Anyway, really sad thing that happened was, for some reason I lost some of the footage. I don't know why, but for some reason OBS just malfunctioned as I was building this master bedroom. Some of the footage I got just didn't render correctly, so we did lose maybe like 15 to 20 minutes of me choosing the furniture, but thankfully nothing too crazy because I did actually switch out a lot of the furniture items, and also I changed kind of like the layout of this room from the original layout, so we really didn't miss out on much. By the way, that computer, I'm not sure what expansion pack that came with, but it's really cute. I use that in most of my mid-century modern builds, and that just looked so cute and quirky and kind of like, I don't know, like futuristic almost. Anyway, so yeah. And oh my gosh, I love this accent chair right there. I feel like that chair is perfect as an accent chair. That was a chair that came with Get Famous, and it's just perfect all on its own because it has so many details and it's got a beautiful shape. Moving forward to the teen bedroom, I do imagine this for a teenager. I did build this house for kind of like your normal typical suburban family, maybe a little bit more on the low-ish income side. They have 2 kids, one is a child and one is a teen. The teen is probably in college, so you know the teenager would probably not spend as much time at home. But yeah, this is the teen's bedroom, and it is a little bit more moody. It does have a little bit more of a darker color scheme, and yeah, once again I'm using these wall panelings from Pets. Initially I tried to put in a pet bed in this room, but for some reason the pet beds don't work. Even when I moved it to a different place, they just don't work for some strange reason. Like, I tried putting it in this bedroom, it didn't work. I tried putting it in the living room, it didn't work. And I even tried putting it outside just to test out if the dog would actually sleep on it, and it still didn't work. I don't know why. I'm assuming the dog probably has to be sleepy to use that pet bed, but the pet bed does end up being placed in the living room area, which you guys will see in just a little bit. But right now we're working on the kids' bedroom, and for the kids' bedroom I did make it a little bit more artistic and colorful. The wall paneling, I chose more of like a cooler color scheme because I've been using a lot of browns and oranges all throughout this build, so I felt like that light bluish color scheme really worked well to balance everything out. But yeah, I tried my best to not use as much move objects in this because I did want to make sure that everything was functional. So yeah, it does look a little bit basic, this bedroom, but that being said, I'm still really happy with it. It's completely functional. The child can interact with all of the interactable objects, and it also has a lot of personality. Once again, I'm using a lot of this orangey color or like this rust color that I feel like is just, you know, so retro. It just screams 60s or 70s. So yep, that's that. Just throwing in a couple more posters and also some decals as well to add a little bit more personality and color into this bedroom. But moving on to the bathroom area, normally I would cut this part out, but literally it just took me like 5 minutes to do this bathroom. So I was like, you know what, I might as well include it so you guys can see what the bathroom looks like. I did go for kind of like a pastel color scheme, which is quite a popular color scheme during the mid-century modern period, especially for kitchens and bathrooms. They had lots of plastic, lots of linoleum, so I wanted to capture that look. I did put in like a hamper in this bathroom, which I realized as I was testing this doesn't work, so I am going to have to move that hamper into the master bedroom to make it work. Also, at this point I realized I didn't put any pet bowls, so that is a big no-no because of course we need to feed our dogs, so I put one there. Actually, I put two there. I imagine one for the water and then the other one for the dog food or something like that. Oh, once again, like I said earlier, I'm mixing and matching different content from different packs and stuff, and that rug I believe is actually from Base Game, and it just had this really nice, awesome retro feel, so I knew that I had to use it in that hallway. So working on the garage area, really there's nothing much here other than additional storage space, a door that leads to the downstairs bunker area, and also a workbench for woodworking. I also threw in a little fish tank aquarium type thing over there as well because why not? It's always fun, especially for the kids. I do imagine this family to be a little bit more like nature oriented. Like they love nature, they love the outdoors. The kids love spending time outdoors, which is why this house has a tree house, and they love catching bugs and, you know, just spending time out in the sun, which actually is something that I personally can relate to because growing up I spent so much time outdoors, climbing trees, catching bugs, digging like little ponds in the ground, filling it up with water. I used to grow vegetables at home as well, and stuff like that. So I don't know, it just made me reminisce so much about my life in the countryside because right now I live in the city and I miss living in the countryside, which makes me actually look forward to Christmas because I'm going home for a couple of days to spend Christmas over at my mom and dad's place. I'm also so busy and stressed out trying to get as much Christmas shopping done as possible and also get packing and just preparing for a couple of weeks worth of builds for you guys so that the channel will have content as well. But right now we're actually working on the underground bunker area, so there is a sleeping area as well as that little area right there to the right is going to have a toilet and a sink. So yes, extra bathroom, and I just put in some like rations, I guess maybe canned food and some supplies and stuff. I also put in like some oxygen tanks as well, just to kind of make it look a little bit more urgent and realistic, and I'm really happy with this. I thought it was a really nice detail. And there's this one show I watched, I think it was a BBC miniseries that was called Ordeal by Innocence, and it took place during the Cold War, and it's basically about this family that is kind of paranoid about a nuclear strike or something like that, and they had a bunker in their, like, you know, Georgian manor or something like that. So that was really interesting. Anyway, right now we're working on this kind of like patio deck area, and I'm so happy with how this deck came out. I really love it. I don't know why, but I can definitely see myself coming out here maybe for a coffee in the morning and just feel the wind in my face and just listen to the birds chirping and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, I also put in a flower arranging bench type thing over there as well as a bar. And also there's going to be a grill in this area as well, and I also put in like a toy box, I guess, for the dog, because I do imagine there to be a family dog in this home. So I made sure to provide the pet with everything that they could possibly need to keep entertained and enriched. So yeah, I really enjoy doing this deck. It adds like another level of realism. I was so close to using that my first pet stuff pet thing, but I changed it up. I changed it out for like cats and dogs one instead, because I felt like the cats and dogs one definitely matched the rustic feel and vibe that I was going for in this house. I also put in like a basketball hoop. I've seen a lot of my friends do this. Obviously you guys know Simlissy. She does this all the time in her garages. Avalon Sims I think also does it as well. But anyway, speaking of the garage, it actually slopes downward, like the driveway slopes downward to the garage, which I thought was really interesting. And yeah, I really like that effect. I also tried to like enclose the entire lot in this white picket fence, which did not work. So I ended up just enclosing this backyard area, which I feel like makes it a little bit more private for sure. I also really like the idea of not completely closing the entire lot, because I feel like, you know, there's like this outside area for the kids to explore and maybe, you know, like catch bugs and stuff. So yeah, this is my attempt at a doghouse. I actually tried to build a doghouse right there using a roof, but it didn't work out, so I had to cut it out. But this is where I came up with a brilliant idea of making a treehouse, because there was quite a lot of space in this area. So I was like, you know what? Why won't we fill it up with a treehouse? Because we should totally do that. So yeah, unfortunately, it's not an actual house, because if I put an actual house here, it would have been too big. It's more of like a tree deck. It's not that different from our treehouse we had growing up, even though this is definitely much of an improvement, because literally our treehouse was just a ladder that came up to the top of a mango tree, and we just climbed it and we just sat in the branches of the tree basically. So there was no deck, there were no fences. I don't even know how my parents got away with putting us in that much danger, but they're fine. They knew that we can climb a tree pretty much. So yeah. Anyway, I think most of the build is actually done. All that's left to do is landscaping. Now for the landscaping, I actually stuck in some gnomes, so you guys should look for those as a little bit of an Easter egg, even though they're not that difficult to spot. But there are 4 gnomes scattered all throughout this house, which once again I felt like just you know, showcased so much personality. And I just tried to put in some trees, kind of like make this into kind of like a shaded, like secluded area almost. And yeah, I also put in a clothesline, which is functional. Your Sims do have the option of using either the clothesline or the dryer in the laundry area. And this right here is a little bit of landscaping, just so you guys can have a little bit of an idea on what it looks like. This is the exact same landscaping all throughout the house, except for the part right there to the right of the screen right now, just right of the stairs. There is going to be a little flower garden over there. But other than that, the landscaping is very naturalistic, nothing too crazy. I kind of just wanted it to look overgrown and kind of just natural, you know? So yeah, by the way, really funny, ironic thing, in the treehouse, I put a dollhouse that's shaped like a treehouse. I don't know why, but that just made me laugh so much. And pretty much to wrap things up, I put in a kiddie pool over here in this little deck area. But yeah, I think this is actually it for this build, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Once again, please don't forget to help support the channel by leaving a like, sharing the video, and subscribing, because that really helps out a lot. And also keep your eye out on my Christmas special that is coming out really soon as well. So that is going to be it for this build. Thank you guys so much for watching. You all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.